Alright, what up, guys? You know who this is. It is your boy Terminal, or Young Senpai, or whatever name I choose to go by this week. Let's face it, I've switched up my names a lot. So, what I wanted to make this video about, it's a little bit late, but it, this whole Spider Man thing with Sony and Marvel splitting up. Now, I feel like Sony should just give Spider Man back to Marvel because, think about Spider Man. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? You don't think of, oh, you got Sony. Look at Sony's got Spider-Man. You don't think of that. What you think of is Marvel. You see it on everything. The freaking video game is not Sony's Spider-Man. Yeah, it's on the PlayStation, but it's Marvel's Spider-Man. So I feel like the Tom Holland, his Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. It's a opinion. A lot of people like Toby's, not as many people like Andrew's, no offense. But really, I feel like he's probably one of the best. And when you think of superheroes, most of the time, let's use Hulk, for example. He's had several different actors, too. He's had Lou Ferrigno, Eric Bana, or Bana, I don't know, Edward Norton, and the Mark Ruffalo. But when you think of a superhero, the first one you come up with is most of the time probably not going to be, oh, Incredible Hulk. It's going to be someone like Spider-Man or, Iron Man. Now that the MCU is like huge, you're going to think of these guys. So the so for someone who's playing Spider-Man in a franchise like the MCU, he's got to be he's got to have this role on him. Okay? For Sony to want to say, "Oh, well you can't do that," and you have to basically abide by our deal is kind of bull because Marvel should have Spider-Man back due to the things that I've said. Like, the Marvel MCU was and still is growing. We've got movies like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We've got all the Disney Plus shows that are coming out, which I'm excited for. Go check those out whenever they come out. So it makes you really wonder, like, okay, so how are they gonna are they just gonna say, oh, Spider-Man doesn't exist anymore? He's, you know, because you can't, if you take him out of the universe, well, you can't, like, name drop him anymore unless you say, oh, he died. He's just dead. Which is not going to happen because you're not going to want to say that to, like, oh, he was here, but now he's gone. It's not going to make any sense. So if you keep him in the MCU, like, it'll make a lot more sense. Like, because, for example, in Far From Home, when he's saying, why can't you get Captain Marvel to help? Well, you can't make that name drop anymore. You can't say, oh, can we get Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man doesn't exist in the MCU anymore. You've completely removed him. So there's no real continuity, maybe would be the right word. I don't know. I'm kind of just giving my thoughts on this whole thing because I feel Spider-Man needs to be MCU. Like, look at Sony's run with Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, the first two movies were great, but after the second movie, and you got into Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man 2, they just, they failed. Like, okay, yeah, it was a fun, Amazing Spider-Man was a fun movie, but it got boring pretty quickly. And it didn't even feel like Spider-Man. It felt more like Ghost Rider or another Marvel franchise. I can't even think of who else it felt like, but like a vigilante type movie. It didn't really feel like Spider-Man, a superhero. With Far From Home, it really felt that way. Like, you were like, oh, okay, so he's actually gonna save people and he's gonna do whatever. The way I always looked at, like, the Tobey Maguire movies, he was saving people. The big difference is, in my opinion, Spider-Man's always funny. He's always joking because he's scared. and that's how he fights his fear, is humor. So Tom Holland is funny. Or Tom Holland's Peter Parker is funny, in both costume, and he's a nerd in Peter Parker. But Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was way too cool. Like skateboarding and Peter Parker, I mean, but skateboarding and really was, talking to everybody cool. Tobey Maguire's was a brooding emo. So I think Spider-Man needs to go back to Marvel and be a part of the MCU. But this is just my thoughts. Let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate it if you liked, comment, subscribe, and share me on various social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Tell your friends. This has been Terminal, Young Senpai, Senpai Josh, whatever I go by. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.